Tonight we celebrate you. If you have battled or are currently fighting, please stand as we recognize you at this time. We would like to take a moment to pause and reflect and celebrate our loved ones in their fight against breast cancer. Thank you. Up and away with breast cancer. Forsyth Time Zone, Coach Jim Bishop. The Marine Corps colors are carried by Cadet Sergeant Stephen Hertzberger. The right rifleman is Cadet Private First Class Brady King. The left rifleman is Cadet Sergeant Mason Sheffield. If you will please remain standing until the colors are retired from the field. Tonight we have Tabitha and Zachary Bethune performing the national anthem, and Kaylee Palak will sign in ASL.
All right, do we need sound check? Let's go at the, we'll go at the 5-minute mark. Level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, check. 1, 2, 1, 2, check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, check.
Check. Check, check, check. Can you hear me? Good? All right. Go Raiders.
Coming up on, we'll go at the 5-minute mark.
About 2 minutes. Do we need a mic? Good. It's probably next door. Sorry for
guy in a white shirt. Coming up on T-minus 60 seconds. 60 seconds. .45. T-minus 30. .20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. And good evening, everyone, and welcome to Raider Valley here in Coal Mountain, Georgia. It is football Friday night, and what a matchup we have. Craig Corbin along with Jay Glimp and the Raider Sports Network here. It is the Battle of the Ninth, 2-0. South Forsyth, 2-0. It's the Civil War, the 20th meeting between these two programs. What a great game, Jay, we've got on tap tonight.
I tell you what, you got to love it when it's meaningful football this late in the season. South has dominated this series, but it's been sort of the vibe all week at school that our North kids are ready, and they can't wait. I've got several of them in U.S. history, and I can tell you how distracted they were this week. They are fired up, and they're ready to go. And it all starts with Ben Bales. He was phenomenal last week against Lambert. You know, they did something they'd never done before. They beat Lambert for the first time in school history, and we did it on their field. And Bales was fantastic. The receivers were great. The offensive line was great. There's just a great thing going here at North Forsyth on all counts.
Jay, you look at the numbers that the Raiders are putting up offensively. Bales averaging 305 yards per game, a QB rating of 114, and you got 5 guys that are averaging better than 50 yards in receptions every time out. It's amazing.
Yeah, it is. If you look at the stats right now, from a standpoint of receiving yards, Charlie Aiken has 400. Dalmolin has 419. Touchstone has 618. And Tristan Howard has 5 left. So you've got 4 kids with 400 yards receiving or more. That's phenomenal. It's amazing when one kid has that many. We've got 4.
Now, when you talk about the Raider offense, it's not a one-sided offense. They can also run the ball and run it well. Bryson Trigg averaging 128 yards per game, 11 touchdowns on the season. That's dynamic.
That's dynamic. He's tied for the region lead in touchdowns with some guy named Honey from South Forsyth. And their statistics are really close. If you look at the newspaper from the Forsyth County News earlier in the week, Honey has 734 yards rushing. Trigg has 771. Trigg has fewer carries. So it's one of those things where you got 2 really good running backs, 2 teams that are playing really well. And again, it's a rivalry. These kids have been playing against each other since the Bennett Park, Sharon Springs days, and they can't wait to get at each other tonight.
You know, you talk about the 2 most prolific offenses in the region. North Forsyth averaging 465 total yards per game. South better than 355 yards per game. Passing, obviously, it favors North Forsyth, but you look at the points, very similar, 37 points a game for the Raiders, 34 per game. The South defense, a little more stingy.
Yeah, they are, but and what's even more impressive with South is that they beat Lassiter, they beat Roswell, the defending state champions at the beginning of the season, and they beat Milton. So they've been battle-tested. They've played some 4-quarter games, and they know how to win the close games. They're a perennial playoff team. They're good. They're well coached. They expect to win. If you ask them, I bet you privately, they don't think this will be a 4-quarter game. It's North Forsyth. They're going to roll over us. I don't think they're ready for what we've got going for them tonight. But again, it's an exciting moment for North Forsyth. It's a great moment for Coach Kraft. It's great to see people excited about North Forsyth football again.
Without question. And you talk about the hurdle of winning a game over Lambert for the first time ever in program history. That was a huge hurdle last week. Tonight, the matchup against one of the top 5 teams in the state, South Forsyth, currently ranked 4th in the Writers' Poll. That just adds that much more of an opportunity, and to know that the winner tonight will have sole possession of first place in the region.
Really, as long as you keep winning, you stay in first place. And you want to win as many games as you can to get the highest seed possible for the playoffs. A loss tonight doesn't kill the season. A loss tonight doesn't get us from not being in the state playoffs. But gosh, what a statement you would be making for the county, for the region, and for the rest of the state. That there have been some North Forsyth teams that made it to the state playoffs, and the games were over by halftime. This might not be that kind of team, but tonight is what's going to tell the tale.
The Raiders, under head coach Robert Kraft, 5-2. Bringing in that mark, 2-0 in region play. The South Forsyth War Eagles under head coach Jeff Arnett, who earlier this season picked up his 100th career win in the victory over South Gwinnett. They are 6-1, and everyone thought, wait a minute, they're 7-0. But earlier this week, Jay, they had to forfeit a game due to an academically ineligible player in the Pinecrest Academy game.
Yeah, that's a game they won 56-10. If you're going to forfeit a game, I'm assuming that a non-region game is fine. It's got no bearing on anything important. But you certainly hate to forfeit a game that you won by 46 points.
No doubt. The officials for tonight's game: your referee Mark Staten, the umpire Brian Mullins, the head linesman Chris Schmuss, the line judge John Heath, the field judge Derry Collins, the side judge Will Sutton, clock operator Shane Lively, and the 25-second clock Brandon Logan. So glad that you've joined us here tonight on the Raiders Sports Network. Our statistician this evening, Mr. Trey Glimpf. Teams are on the field ready to go, and South will receive the opening kick here tonight in Raider Valley. A gorgeous fall evening. So glad you've joined us for coverage of football in Forsyth. A ball in the air and into the end zone, and nicely done.
That's a great way to start. Last week we kicked off to about the 2. Lambert ran it back to our 30. Scored a play later, so it's good to put it in the end zone and give South 80 yards to go instead of on our side of the field.
Arthur Boizo with that kickoff. First possession of the night for the War Eagles. And it will be quarterback Cal Morris under center. And the handoff coming near side. Lots of room to run and could go all the way. Number 22. And that's Landon Sims. And out. And they will mark that at the 17-yard line. What a play to start things off.
Well, we started that way last week at Lambert with the kickoff return. But, hey, we stopped them. They haven't scored yet. Lambert had the ball at our 10 last week and went backwards. So we'll see how the defense responds. That was a good little end-around play. And it was a great game. It was a great touchdown-saving tackle. It looked like by Bryce Davis to run it down.
The officials, Jay, had to wait on the chain gang to make their way down the field. It'll be 1st and 10. The ball resting at the 17 of North. South quarterback Cal Morris. The center Briggs Hutchison. The guards Gabe Cleveland and Chris Biba. And the tackles Jake Natowski and Jordan Nelson. 1st and 10, the second play of this ball game. In motion to the far side, handoff, and a whistle flag on the play. And that'll move the War Eagles back. Just underway, first quarter here in Raider Valley. moves it back to the 22, 1st and 15. Yes, 14 seconds into this ball game. Two wideouts to the far side. And a handoff hit at the line of scrimmage, gain of a couple. It'll be 2nd and 13, ball resting right at the 20-yard line.
It's a good job by the defense of getting in the backfield and disrupting that running play.
The defensive front for the Raiders, nose tackle Chevy Chavaria, Hampton Weingruber, and Cade Jensen, the defensive ends for the Raiders. 2nd and 13, clock rolling, 11:15 to go, quarter number 1. Snap, Morris to the air, and it's complete at the 15, and the Raiders swarm. And nice defensive effort. That'll bring up 3rd and long.
Tell you what, that tackle looked like it was almost a missed tackle. Glad he hung on to that.
And that was Ryan Quintrelli with the reception. Ball resting right at the 15. Call it 3rd and 8. Clock rolls, 10:44 to go in the first quarter.
This is a big 3rd down. This is a huge momentum.
Man in motion to the near side. Morris rolls this way, looks to the air, into the end zone, and overthrown. And a big defensive stand indeed after giving up the huge play on the first play from scrimmage.
And that'll bring up 4th down.
On the kick.
Good coverage by the defense. A great job. Again, how important was that tackle on the first play by Davis? That was a touchdown-saving tackle. If All South gets his 3 out of this, then that's a huge momentum builder for North.
Alex Hardy will attempt a 32-yard field goal, his longest in the season, 29. And that one is no good. And a huge shot in the arm for the Raider defense.
Yeah, that's a lot of momentum for North. We need to get off the offense on the field, and we need to move down the field.
To give up as big a play from scrimmage on the first play of the game and hold the War Eagles to not even a field goal is huge.
It is. I tell you, last week we did it against Lambert. Lambert got at about the 10-yard line, and they went backwards. This time around, South had a huge first play and really nothing else after that. So great job by the defense of not giving up, and certainly not giving up another touchdown.
First chance to see the Raiders. Then Bales at the quarterback, calling a man in motion. Bales takes the snap, quick pass, and dangerous. Oh, and a flag on the play.
There was definitely some contact on that. Looked like Aiken was running an out route, and he got jammed. That was an easy one. That was an easy call. Lambert last week could not keep up with the receivers. They tried to play a little bit of man, but everybody was open last week. South's a little bit more athletic, and looks like they're going to try and bump these guys off their routes early.
And that moves it all the way out to the 35-yard line. 1st and 10 for North. At center, Harrison Allen, the guards, Espinoza and Faust. 1st and 10. This the opening possession for the Raiders. Bales takes the handoff, now looking long, near side, and possibly a miscommunication there. A move to the inside by the intended receiver, Mr. Tristan Howard.
Aiken was open down the middle. If Bales could have hung on to it just a little bit longer and thrown it the deep route like he did last week against Lambert, Aiken had his man beat.
2nd and 10 for North. Ball at the 35, man in motion. Bales looks, quick hit, and it is complete for a gain of 5, and that's Howard. Or beg your pardon, touchstone.
It's a flag on the play.
And it's all for naught. And that's frustrating for an offense when you've picked up yardage to turn around and hand it right back.
Well, the one thing you notice about South is they're fast and they are big. They're going to bring a lot of pressure. Looks like they're playing a press man on the outside receivers, and they're going to try and put as much pressure on Bales as they can. Make him throw it early, which will take away the deep routes.
Bales, the quick shot, and it is intercepted into the hands of number 22 for the War Eagles, Landon Sims, who takes it in for the pick six at the 9:16 mark of the opening quarter.
Well, on that play, it looked like Bales was throwing a slant route. Looked like he was throwing it to number 5, Charlie Aiken. It bounced off Aiken. It was incomplete. 22 picked it off and took it to the house. Again, with one-on-one coverage, those short routes are going to be open, but we got to make that catch. That's a catchable ball. We got to make that play. You hate to give up 7 on offense.
The snap, the spot, the kick. And it is no good. A missed point after, only the second missed point after on the season. And so instead of 7-0, it's 6-0 at the 9:16 mark. We'll take a break and be back right here on the Raiders Sports Network. Back we are here in Raider Valley. Craig Corbin, Jay Glimp, the Raider Sports Network crew. And a defensive score by the War Eagles. The pick six by Landon Sims. The missed extra point, though, and it's 6-0 in favor of South. 9:16 to go here in the first quarter. North to receive the kick. And it will come down at about the 12-yard line. And swarmed under at the 15 on the return, number 28, Bryson Trigg. And that's where the Raiders will set up shop on their second possession of the night.
Well, you'd like a better kickoff return than that. Looks like there were 3 or 4 guys that missed their assignment. The good news is it's just the first quarter. There's no need to panic. North has a great high-scoring offense. They can move the ball in chunks. They can take the lead in one play. We saw that last week. But again, it's a little bit different when you're playing a team like South that looks like they've got skill and size everywhere.
1st and 10 for the Raiders. Bales takes the snap, the handoff, and Trigg has some room across the 20, 25, and that will be close to a first down for the Raiders. We'll see where they mark it. Might be just shy.
Good run by Trigg. He bounced that to the outside. He saw the opening quick, and he got there for a good pickup. Looks like it's 2nd and short.
2nd and much less than a yard. He will hand again, and Trigg has got the first down this time all the way out to the 29.
Two straight running plays. Now I like it because as long as they can run and get 4 yards a clip, South is going to have to soften up their defense a little bit, and that'll open up bigger plays for North Forsyth down the road. They've got to be able to run the ball.
On both those plays, huge gaping holes, and could be movement. Yep, and that's going to move the Raiders back. And that is the second time we have seen a penalty right on the heels of a first down. Make it 1st and 15, line of scrimmage the 24, clock rolls, first quarter, 8:20 and counting. The snap, Bales looks to his left, and it is complete to about the 29. That'll leave second and just more than 10. Inside 8 minutes we go here, quarter number 1.
It's not a bad play, and if the short pass routes are going to be open, they're going to have to take it.
And that's going to be against the War Eagles. And so that will move the line of scrimmage out to the 34. A much more manageable 2nd and 5. 7:45 to go, quarter number 1. Trigg the lone back. Bales will hand it to him, coming right up the middle, and he is hit immediately and might have gotten just back to the line of scrimmage. Let's see where they mark it. It looks as though they're going to give him maybe a yard. We'll call it 3rd and a long 4. Big play early in this ball game for the Raider offense.
Yes, it is. Last week, North did an amazing job on 3rd down. It didn't matter what the distance was. They were better than 80% on 3rd down, so let's see what we can do tonight.
Bales looks to throw for it, goes long, down the middle, and knocked away right at the last minute by number 2, Jake Wilson. A beautiful looking pass, just needed a little bit more on it.
Yeah, that was great coverage by South. All the defensive backs did a great job. All our receivers were pretty well hemmed in and covered on that. That would have been a miraculous play to complete that.
Faulkner to punt. Snap's a good one. The punt is a good one. And it will be fielded at the 25.
Great punt. Great punt.
And that is a great way to change the field.
Now, I don't mind the 3rd down call of throwing it deep. We're going to have to take our chances with that. But early on in the game, the 3rd and 5. Last week, all the out routes to the outside, to the sidelines were open. So no reason to not go for the boundary early.
1st and 10 for the War Eagles. They're going to make it the 26 for the line of scrimmage. They lead it 6-0 here in the first quarter. Handoff will go to Honey, and over the right side. And that's good. We'll mark it at about the 34-yard line. And call it 2nd and a short 2.
Yeah, that was just a simple off-tackle dive out of the shotgun.
Snap the handoff again to Honey, and he is hit. And I think stopped short. They'll give him a yard, but no more.
Great play by the defense. They were like that last week at Lambert. The defensive line got in the backfield. They disrupted a lot of plays. They're going to have to play big against Honey. Honey's going to get his yards, but boy, it would be sweet to stop him right here.
3rd and a short 1 for the War Eagles of South Forsyth. Clock rolls inside 6 minutes here in the first quarter. 6-0 War Eagles. And a timeout taken by Coach Arnett and South Forsyth. We'll keep it right here. How pivotal would it be for North to hold that powerful rushing attack of South and get the ball right back?
Listen, it would be awesome, and it would give the defense a ton of confidence going against a school like South that averages the yardage that they average, that's won the amount of games that they've won, and have South has some just impressive-looking guys on the offensive line.
You talk about impressive. 250, 275, 292, 270. That's some beef on that offensive line for the War Eagles.
It is. It certainly gives you advantage on those 3rd and short calls. the other thing that scares you about South is the quarterback is versatile. He can run. He's got over 300 yards rushing. So you have to watch him too. If everybody concentrates on Honey on a dive play, there's no reason why they can't just pull it and Morris run it.
Morris under center will hand off and stopped short of the yard to gain. That handoff went to number 32, Darren Rogers, and the Raiders have held.
Great play by number 6, Evan Johnson. He was in there first and disrupted the whole thing. That was great penetration by the defensive line. Listen, these kids are excited. They're ready to play tonight. They look good on defense.
Jay, I think the War Eagles are going to go for it with the line of scrimmage inside the 35. 4th and 1. Are they just going to try to draw the Raiders offside? Nope, they're going for it. The toss. And it's going to be marked right at the line to gain.
Oh, man, is that close.
This one's going to come down to the measurement. Jared Honey got it.
Yeah, they're going to have to measure that one. That's too close to.
Let me tell you, Jay, this is going to be close.
If they get it, it's by a millimeter.
The chains, and they're short. They are short.
Great play.
South Forsyth missed it by 2 inches. A huge defensive stand by North Forsyth. They take over at the 35-yard line.
Well, that was a great play. It looked like they were going to push that pile forward, and the defense stopped them. Just millimeters short.
So now the Raiders take over the first time the offense has been across midfield, thanks to that defensive effort. 1st and 10, ball just inside the 36.
Now it would be awful tempting to throw something deep here, but gosh, I hope they establish a drive.
Man in motion to the near side, 1st and 10. Raiders trail it 6-0. Bales fakes. He's looking long. He's going near side. It is picked off at the 8-yard line, intercepted by number 3, and that's Miles Ellis. And that ball was underthrown.
It was underthrown. I think sometimes you have coaches that'll say, well, all right, if we turn it over, it's just as good as a punt. South's got it inside their own 10-yard line. But that's a quick shift in momentum. Your defense just made a great play. Now you got to put them back out on the field. And really, if you go back and you look at that, I bet you everybody will see, boy, there was a lot of real estate in front of Bales.
Yep.
Sometimes you got to tuck it and run.
Yep. So just as quickly as the South Forsyth offense had gone to the sideline, they're back on the field. 1st and 10 at the 8. They lead it 6-0. Just inside 5 minutes to play here in the first quarter from Coal Mountain. Morris will take the snap, looks quickly, gets it out in the flat, and a beautiful tackle.
That's a great tackle.
There, number 4. That is Honus Wagner.
Honus Wagner came in and had a great tackle there. Sometimes you got to cut people with your shoulder. You don't want to wrap up. And he did just that there. That receiver was not going to place.
Going to give him a gain of 4. We'll call it 2nd and 6.
And Wagner's been outstanding all year.
Morris surveys the defense, sends Honey out to the right, comes near side, pass is complete for the first down. That's number 9, Ryan Pentrelli. And that's out across the 20-yard line.
Well, they're concentrating on Honey. That was just a little stop route. He just turned around and caught it and was just enough for the first down. That's what North is giving them defensively. Our defensive line is whipping their offensive line right now, so they're going to have to do some short pass routes too, sort of loosen that up.
Ball resting at the 21, just inside the 21. Less than 4 minutes to play here, first quarter, 6-0 War Eagles. Honey takes the delayed handoff and hit maybe a gain of a yard on the play.
Again, great job by the defensive line, and you saw it with Honey there. there were at least 3 guys that made that tackle.
The linebackers for North, Chase Johnson, Evan Johnson, Robert Faulkner, and J.A. Whitaker. 2nd and 9. Clock rolls, 3:17 to go, quarter number 1. Morris now will tuck it in, and he is tackled. Nice open field tackle by number 85 for the Raiders, Hampton Weingruber.
Great play there, great pressure, and like I said, Morris can run. He's got some jets. So getting him to not be in the open field, that's what the defense is trying to do. And Weingruber made a great play. That was a shoestring tackle there.
3rd, let's call it 3rd and 8. Another opportunity for the Raider defense here. 2:37 to play, first quarter.
Just another opportunity to get the ball back.
3rd and 8. Morris lets it fly long, and it is nearly caught at the 45 of North, off the fingertips of the intended receiver, number 23, Xavier Capers.
Davis did a great job on the coverage for North. He was right there. If the South receiver had made that catch, it would have been a highlight reel catch with one hand. Davis was all over him. And Bryce Davis has been outstanding all year, too. That's a big victory for the North defense. Now we're going to get the ball back, hopefully in good field position. And again, we have a big play offense. We need to do to establish some sort of drive.
The ball allowed to bounce. Boy, it takes a War Eagle bounce out of bounds at the 30. Nearly thought that the punt returner, Carter Mulligan, might have gotten a little too close to that.
Very much. When that ball's going end over end, you let it go. Get away from it.
So now what has been, I think, perhaps surprisingly, a defensive struggle so far here in the ball game. North a chance to answer. The only score, the pick 6 by Landon Sims at the 9:16 mark of this first quarter. Raiders take over now. Ball resting at the 36. The snap to Bales, the handoff. Trigg, nice gain out to about the 39.
Well, even though both teams run a variation of the spread, North's is a little bit more wide open than South's. Sometimes you have to be able to win a game the old-fashioned way. Running between the tackles, blocking, getting 4, 5, 6 yards to carry, and establishing a drive. They're not going to be able to score on 80-yard plays every time.
Another handoff and another big gain, and this one will put it out to about the 44-yard line. And so that will leave 3rd and short. We'll call it 3rd and a long 2. The snap, handoff, and it's first down and more. Trigg inside War Eagle territory down to the 44.
Tell you what, that was a great play, great blocking up front, and I love it when Trigg puts his shoulder down and runs over people. Sometimes, again, in a game like this where two teams look to be pretty even, it's the team that's the toughest in the trenches. And right now, North's got the momentum. Things are going their way. Do they take a chance again?
We'll see. 1st and 10 from the 44. Clock rolls.
South has not changed their defensive coverage. They're going with man.
Inside, a minute to play first quarter. 6-0 War Eagles. The quick hit, and it is complete inside the 40. We'll mark it at the 38. So a nice gain of about 6 on the play. They might be able to get off one more play here, Jay, before the end of the quarter.
That was just a quick little out route by Tristan Howard, and it was open. Nice gain. Nice 6-yard gain on first down.
Clock rolls inside, 30 seconds to go. And Bales checking off the play. Clock rolls inside 15 seconds. The snap and the handoff. Trigg over the left side, and that will be the last play of the first quarter. 6-0 South Forsyth. North driving. We'll take a break and be back with the second quarter right here on the Raiders Sports Network.
They had to.
Back we are here in Raider Valley. Craig Corbin, Jay Glimpf, the Raider Sports Network crew, and we will enumerate them for you before halftime. Great job bringing you all the sights and sounds of football Friday night. The pass is complete inside the 35, and that is going to be enough for a Raider first down.
Little extracurricular activity after the play.
Just a little bit. It is the Civil War after all, North versus South.
Very much so. It was a great play by Touchstone to make the grab and keep both hands on the ball, but South is trying to strip it. First down, big play.
First down, the ball at the 32. Bales puts it over the middle, and that one just a little bit too much. Contact. But I think after the ball had gone over the head of the intended receiver, number 13, Cedric Touchstone.
Well, again, South is playing a man-to-man defense. There's going to be multiple one-on-one opportunities to throw deep balls against them. The biggest thing is, again, I feel like you got to establish that drive.
Touchstone.
Go with what was working early with Trigg.
Touchstone averaging 15.5 yards per catch. Bales under pressure, lets it fly, and nearly hauled in. Had a couple of receivers. I think the intended receiver was Tristan Howard.
Yeah, Bales took a shot, too, on that. South is bringing in pressure from all angles. They're not worried about Bales as a runner. When Bales makes that fake to the running back to try and freeze the linebackers aren't freezing because they know Bales isn't a guy that's going to tuck it and run. So it puts more pressure on the line to be accountable for everybody.
3rd and 10. Bales looks to the sideline. Coach Kraft and company. Big third down opportunity here. And a handoff. Trigg maybe to the 30. And that will leave 4th and long.
You're in Boiso's range. Boiso can hit it from here.
And
he's got a strong leg.
He has long on the season. Has been a 42-yarder. And this will be an attempt of
it's about 46.
47. Let's give him a yard. Let's call it a 47-yarder. The snap, the spot, the kick, and it is going to be wide to the right. I think he had enough leg to have gone.
He did. He definitely had the distance. He's a left-footed kicker, and he missed it right. He hit it too well, as we say. It's kind of like when you slice your drive. It looks good at first, and then it sort of dies off to the right. That's what it looked like.
But nice to know that you've got a kicker, a young man that can get it that far.
Well, and the great thing about it is that when you miss a field goal in high school from that distance, the other team gets it on the 20. It's just like you punted it out of the end zone. So really, South loses 17 yards on that play,
there you go,
as opposed to getting it at their own 37-yard line. So it's a win-win for North. And as well as North's defense has been playing, I like the defense on the field right now.
War Eagles with a 6-0 lead take over. The handoff over the left side. And out to about the 24. That time it was Brunson on the carry.
Flag on the play.
And that may be going against the War Eagles. Let's see. And indeed it will go against the War Eagles. And that moves it all the way back inside the 10. That will make it 1st and 20. 10:47 to play, second quarter, 6-0. A defensive battle here in Raider Valley. Battle for supremacy in Region 5 7A. Morris all time to throw, lets it fly over the middle, and it is complete to the 40, to midfield, into North territory, inside the 40 and down to the 32-yard line. A big play to number 9, Ryan Puntrelli.
Yeah, he just ran a little post route right down the middle and was wide open. Nobody accounted for him until he caught the ball. Jean-Pierre ran him down and made a great play to stop him from scoring. But, gosh, the defense has only played poorly on 2 plays. One's a 70-yard run. This was a play that was well over 50 yards.
Line of scrimmage, the 31, 1st and 10 for South. 10:10 to play until the half. The snap, handoff, coming near side and taken down behind the line of scrimmage. Beautiful tackle by number 43, Robert Faulkner. And also there, I think you had Chevy Chavaria in there as well.
Great play by Faulkner, shooting the gaps and getting on the running back early in the backfield. It was a great play. North has been aggressive. They've looked faster off the ball. South is huge, but North has been faster off the ball, so that's a great play.
It's a loss of 1 on the play, 2nd and 11.
They're in the backfield again.
And Morris still has it, lets it fly toward the end zone and nowhere near the intended receiver. Oh my. That ball was nowhere near catchable.
No, it wasn't.
Easily 15 yards away from the intended receiver.
Yeah, I tell you what, Morris made a great play fake because the whole North defensive line was tackling the running back, and he just threw it up in the air as far as he could. But yeah, that pass was not catchable. Looks like we got another flag too.
Yep, and that one may be even more costly. So I think on top of the defensive interference, and I think
unsportsmanlike.
Yep. And that I think
they took out
Hartsfield.
They took out Davis. They're talking to him. I don't know if it was on him or not, but when you take one of your better players out and 2 coaches talk to him, that might be it. It's a bad call, but you got to keep your cool. You hate to give South an opportunity to go up by 14.
It is 1st and goal. The ball at the 8-yard line. Handoff. Honey down to the 5, inside the 5. And we 2nd and goal. Ball marked right at the 5-yard line. Those 2 penalties.
Yeah, the unsportsmanlike is more costly than the pass interference. But look, South's kicker has struggled. This is 4-down territory for them. I don't know that they try another field goal.
Hand off again and to the end zone, and it is just shy, marked just shy. The stretch by Jared Honey, and his knee was down at the 1. And that will bring up 3rd and goal from the 1. 8:34 to go, second quarter. Boy, if the Raiders can find any way to stuff them here.
Yeah, again. Shades of the first quarter.
Snap, hand off and hit behind the line of scrimmage, but fighting into the end zone. Jared Honey with the touchdown, South Forsyth. That coming at the 8:12 mark of the second quarter.
Well, I tell you what, they played hard on that play. Yeah. Honey turned his back, got low, and used those big, strong legs that he has, and he pushed the pile.
Let's take a look at that. $12-0 your score. South with their second touchdown of the night, and they're going to go for 2, having missed their first.
Yeah, the kicking's been an adventure for them tonight.
So the 2-point conversion attempt. Morris and overthrows his intended receiver, number 9, Ryan Pontrelli. And so with 8:12 to go in the second quarter, 12-0 South Forsyth. Will take a break. We'll be back in a moment right here on the Raiders Sports Network. Back we are here in Raider Valley. Craig Corbin, Jay Glimpf, the Raider Sports Network crew. 12-0. We have not seen any extra points made, either the conventional 1-pointer or in that time the 2-point attempt. Kick deep and taken right at the goal line, out across the 20, 25, and taken down at the 30-yard line. Flag on the play. Nice return by Y'all Perry.
Looks like they're pointing towards north. It's coming back.
And that's going to negate a 30-yard kickoff return. And from the point of the infraction, which was the 22, they'll step it off back just outside the 12.
Well, you hate to start with this kind of field position after you've given up a second touchdown. But you know what? There shouldn't be any panic. A situation like this is where you need to start to establishing trig and get an identity on offense.
Not yet midway through the second quarter, the handoff to Trigg, and he is taken down just about right at the line of scrimmage.
That was a good play by South. I think their entire defensive line got in the backfield on that one.
North has yet to establish that vaunted passing attack. And I think if you're able to hit on a couple, that would really open things up.
Sure, especially on the short ones where there's the chance of a missed tackle.
2nd and 10 for the Raiders. The snap, Bales, quick hit, and it's complete. Out to about the 20-yard line. Nicely done on the catch by Touchstone.
It was a great catch, but he got hit by 3 guys. Every play we do on offense, where our guys are getting crushed on. We're earning every yard we get right now.
Call it 3rd and 2. The ball resting at the 20. Handoff, and Trigg's going to be swarmed under. A loss of a yard on the play.
Well, that second touchdown by South, has changed the whole outset of the game. The South kids look fired up. Now they're getting in the backfield for their defense, and that play had no chance.
Now you will be giving up the ball, and probably pretty decent field position for the War Eagles, up 12-0. Faulkner gets it away, all the way back, and a fair catch, a late fair catch call, and taken at the 46-yard line. And that's where the War Eagles will set up shop with 6:16 to go, second quarter.
I tell you what, that was a good punt by Faulkner. Great punt. You know, the South has it on their side of the field. Now, the deal is, North has to stop South. They've got to reassert themselves. They've got to do what they were doing in the first and second quarter early on, where they're in the backfield, where they're getting to Honey. You know, South's only made 2 big plays. Unfortunately, those were huge plays.
2 wideouts to either side for the War Eagles. Snap to Morris, looking long, and it is complete to the 31-yard line. And it is number 23, Xavion Capers.
Tell you what, that was a pretty throw, and the thing about it is that Morris had all day. He dropped back, he set up, great release, receiver ran a great route. You're going to have to get pressure on him. You cannot let him sit back there and make those throws. Those are the type of throws that Morris has been making all year.
1st and 10 War Eagles, clock at 6:08, second quarter. South leads it 12-0. The rush, the throw, it's a high arcing, and it is going to be hauled in inside the 5. And a catch by Pontrelli, who had to wait on the ball. It was a lollipop. Came down, and Pontrelli with the catch. They're going to mark it all the way to the 2.
That was a play where the corner just sort of lost where the ball was. Pontrelli stopped and adjusted to the ball, and the corner kept going. It was a great play by South. There's pressure on him, though. Number 6, Evan Johnson, definitely got a hit on the quarterback that time.
1st and goal from the 2. South leading 12-0. Minutes away from halftime here. And Rice is stretching for the end zone. They're going to give the touchdown. I'm not sure that Morris didn't have a knee down before the ball went across the end line. The initial signal, though, touchdown for South. And Morris with the keeper, 5:33 to play.
There's a flag in the end zone. I think it was after the score, but there's a flag in the end zone.
Is a dead ball personal foul against North to South. And the penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
And that personal foul against the Raiders, and that'll be assessed on the kickoff.
That's their second now.
You want your young men to maintain their composure in what is an emotional ball game. Again,
you're right, and right now it's got the feeling like it may be sort of slipping away.
A lightning strike possession by the War Eagles, 18-0. Again going for 2. Snap, Morris hands off to Honey, barrels in. The 2-point conversion is good with 5:33 to play until halftime. Your score, South Forsyth 20, North Forsyth nothing. This is the Raiders Sports Network.
Stranger things have happened. Stranger things have happened.
You need points before halftime.
You do. You do. And I don't think you can run slower running plays. You're going to have to run some quick hitting stuff because they're coming.
All right, Mr. Ben.
Positive orthodontics, Hughes Barbecue, and Country Folks Superstore, and Vicky's Barbecue.
Back we are here, 20-0 your score in favor of South, 5:33 to play until halftime. North in need of getting the offense in gear. Long kickoff taken, and with the foot in the end zone, that will be brought out. 20-yard line is where the Raiders will set up shop. And Jay, you talk about how quickly South was able to move the ball down on that last possession. Bing, bing, bing.
Just a couple of plays, and all of a sudden it's 20-0. But there's no reason to panic. I realize what the score is.
Yep.
But just watching North all year and watching how quickly they can score, anybody that runs a spread offense, anything that we've seen in college football, we know a 20-point lead is not an insurmountable lead.
The Raiders need to answer with some points before the half. A handoff and nothing doing. Taken down behind the line of scrimmage. And Bryson Trigg didn't have a whole lot of room to run.
Well, for our folks watching at home, what you can see is South is sending 2 linebackers. They've got 4 down linemen, so they're sending 6 people every time. So when Trigg gets the ball, there's usually 2 or 3 people that aren't being blocked. They're not being accounted for right now.
Loss of 2 on the play, 2nd and 12. Bales takes the snap, heavy rush, lets it fly near side, open and complete. Out and falling down at the 25. Would have had an opportunity to pick up the first down. That pass complete to number 16, Tristan Howard. They're going to give him to the 26, but needed 4 more. 3rd and 4. 4:35 and counting here in the second quarter.
Big 3rd down.
Raiders in dire need of a 3rd down conversion right here. And before the play can go off, it'll be a timeout taken by Coach Kraft and the Raider sideline. I think they really understand down 20-0, 3 scores. You need something before halftime.
Yeah, they do. It's just sort of getting an offensive identity. Last week, the passing game was working great. Trigg hit some home run, long run plays, and this time around, South's defense is stout. There's a good chance you're not going to get those big chunk plays, which means you're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. You're going to have to get 4, 5, 6 yards a carry. You may have to have a drive that's 10, 11, 12, 13 play drive that takes off a ton of clock, but the end result is you're going to have to start putting it in the end zone.
Teams are back out on the field. 3rd and 4. The ball resting at the 26-yard line. And the Raiders convert here and keep the drive alive. They trail 20-0. To pass, Bales lets it fly, and it is good enough for the first down. Complete out to the 32. And Howard with the reception and a huge 3rd down conversion. That
was huge. And again, you're going to have to take what they're giving you. If they're giving you 5-yard out routes, I'll take 5 yards of play every time.
1st and 10 for the Raiders. Ball at the 32. And the handoff. And nothing doing there.
Well, they're figuring out the formula. We're running the ball. Watt on 1st down right now.
Clock rolls inside 4 minutes to play. Call it a loss of 1. 2nd and 11. Ball just outside the 30. Wideouts to either side. In motion, Dalmelin to the far side. Bales lets it fly deep. Has him in there, and it's Dalmelin inside the 20-yard line. Beg your pardon, on the catch. That was Charlie Aiken.
Yeah.
Thought it was the man in motion, but it was Aiken. Got behind the defender.
That pass couldn't have been more on the money. That was a great throw by Bales. Great catch. Great finish on the play. We need 6.
Line of scrimmage, the 21. 1st and 10 Raiders. Clock rolls, 3:23 to play until the half. Looking for their first score of the night.
That was the 4th deep throw we've thrown. That's the first completion.
The snap. Bales fakes the handoff, goes for the end zone, and it is caught! Touchdown, North! Tristan Howard with a 21-yard touchdown reception.
Good fake. Great touch pass. And Howard with a great concentration. The defender was right in his face. Great job by the receivers. Again, North has some gifted receivers, and South has been doing a great job on them up to right now. Hopefully there's more of this to come.
That coming at the 3:03 mark. And the kick is good. The extra point makes it 20-7 with 3:03 to play until the half. Your score, South Forsyth 20, North 7, right here on the Raiders Sports Network.
Hey, Trey. Trey, how many completions does Bales have?
The 21-yard touchdown strike from Bales to Howard. The extra point good, and it's 20-7. And now the Raiders with that much-needed shot in the arm. We'll kick it away. And the ball coming down at about the 4-yard line. And fielded there by number 6, Jalen Pearson.
Great coverage on there. They got him inside the 20. Good kick by Boise, putting it to the corner. Good job by the special teams. The scenario we would love to see is hold them, get the ball back, see if we can get one more score in. If we can cut it in half, a touchdown would be great because we get the ball back first in the second half.
Ball resting at the 17, 1st and 10 for South. They lead it 20-7. Morris back to pass, all day to throw, lets it fly, and nearly intercepted at the 45-yard line, going up and had his hands all over it. What an effort by Honus Wagner.
Yeah, Honus Wagner's had sure hands all year. I think he leads the team in interceptions. He's in the top 5 in tackles in the region. Great player. He's having an all-region kind of season. Boy, that would have been a huge play right there.
Can you imagine?
He did everything but bring it down.
War Eagles dodged a big bullet there after giving up the touchdown to North. Now 2nd and 10. This time, again going to the air and overthrown.
Oh.
And a late flag. Again, the ball not catchable over the head of the intended recipient, Ryan Petrelli.
Well, it looks like they're trying to expose the middle again. I didn't see the penalty, but I saw Petrelli point like he got held. I feel like that may be what the official reacted to. Either way, this is part of the game. You got to overcome it.
And so that will move it out all the way to the 32.
You hate for it to be at our expense.
Yeah. Gives a first down to the War Eagles. Clock's sitting at 2:45. And in motion to the near side, Morris takes the snap, rolls out, now lets it fly. It is long and overthrown. You can hear the Raider faithful in disbelief at that flag. The second consecutive defensive pass interference call against the Raiders secondary.
Well, and it's the fourth for the game. When the ball's in the air, you got to play the ball.
So you've just given up 30 yards in penalties.
If there's contact like that and the receiver falls down and the official is on it, they are going to call it, as we've seen.
Ball resting at the 47-yard line, 2:37 to go until the half. 20-7, South the lead and the ball. Handoff, Honey hit, and he will be taken down at about the 48, gain of a yard on the play.
Tell you what, the defense has done a great job on Honey. He has not had any explosive runs or anything like that. And maybe a penalty is what they need. You hear the crowd yelling, getting the North players even more excited about the meaning of this game.
2nd and 9, Morris rolls to the near side and taken down! A sack all the way back at the 34-yard line. A huge defensive effort.
Evan Johnson came from the right side. They're going to call a penalty on him. I'm pretty sure they're going to call a penalty on him. Johnson made a great play on the sack.
We'll see what the officials sort out here. I honestly did not see anything that would warrant it, and they are waving off the flag.
Fantastic. Evan Johnson did a little Cam Newton Superman, which that's what I saw, and then the official threw the flag, so I thought, well, maybe they're getting him for celebration. That was a great play by Johnson.
Huge sack.
Yeah, great play. He came out on the right side of the line and never stopped. Great tackle, great sack. Huge play, especially after 2 straight penalties.
Well, we've got time out on the field. Let's take this opportunity to recognize the staff here on the Raider Sports Network. Your executive producer, Mr. James Seawright, colleague and friend from way back. Phenomenal job with the program here at North. Your director this evening, Mr. Ben Barron. Well done, Ben. Your close-up camera tonight, Shelby Croy. The wide cam, Zachary Brescia. Other camera operators tonight, Brendan Eason, Guillermo Tillon, and Kent Clark Rice. Love the name, Mr. Rice. And, of course,
we'll keep his identity secret.
That's right. And our statistician tonight, job well done, Mr. Trey Glimpf.
All right, big play here, 3rd down. Would love to not have a pass interference penalty.
3rd and 18. Morris rolls out to his left, under pressure, lets it fly, and nearly intercepted at the 42-yard line. A great defensive effort. And the Raiders have held. And there is time left with which to work.
With our offense, there's plenty. All we need really is about 20 seconds. But that was a great stand by the defense. And, gosh, did they have every excuse to quit. Penalty after penalty, momentum shifts, things like that. And they just keep playing hard. Great job by the defense.
Back deep to receive, Carter Mulligan.
Short punt.
And that is going to hit at the 34 and be allowed to drop and takes a slight Raider bounce at the 32-yard line. So with 1:35 to go until halftime, you do have decent field position. Yeah. You got time. They can make this a 1-possession game.
And, you know, with 1:35 left, you can do everything that you've got in your arsenal. You don't have to throw it deep. We were successful on the last drive, but it took us till 3 minutes to go in the second quarter for us to complete any of those deep throws.
Raiders have 1 timeout left with which to work. Ball resting. They're going to mark it at the 33-yard line, we'll call it. 1st and 10. Minute 35 to go until the half. Bales takes the snap, lets it fly right side, complete to the 40, and out to the 44-yard line, and that's number 16, Tristan Howard.
Well, when you complete a couple deep balls on the last possession, as you can see, South has backed up some from a defensive back standpoint. That's going to open up those out routes again. We saw it last week against Lambert.
You bet. Now the clock rolls again after moving the chains. Inside a minute 20, complete again into South territory and down to the 47-yard line. That one complete to Touchstone.
Look at South. South's got their hands on their hips. They look a little bit tired. They look a little bit confused.
Second and short. Call it 2nd and 1. Back to pass. Letting it fly. Oh, threading the needle inside the 40-yard line. And it is complete to Cedric Touchstone. 1st and 10 for the Raiders, but a flag on the field.
It's like a late hit on Bales.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. The ref was right on top of that one. But you're right, that was a great pass. It was a great pass to touchdown. Yes, it was. But Bales is phenomenal, and he's been hot. Last week, I think he completed 26 passes. Right now, I don't know what he's got for the end of the first half, but he's got to have more than he had last week against Lambert.
How quickly has the momentum shifted in this ballgame?
Well, if we score a touchdown, you'll feel it.
1st and 10, the ball at the 22 of South. North looking for the second score in as many minutes. Bales lets it fly to the end zone. High arcing pass just over the outstretched hands of Charlie Aiken. 38.3 seconds on the second quarter clock. What a ball game.
Absolutely. And you know what? With the ball inside the 25, you're well within Boiseau's range, which means you don't have to worry about having to get any closer to get 3. You can call anything you want.
2nd and 10. Bales the snap. Heavy rush. Lets it fly toward the end zone and picked off. Picked off and taken back 40, 50 into North territory, and he's going to take it all the way. Number 2, Jake Wilson with a back-breaking 95-yard pick 6.
Wow. We were just talking about momentum shifting. We were just talking about North getting a touchdown, maybe a field goal, cutting the lead in half, and you can feel the momentum. But it's not the way we wanted it. That was a play. It looked like there was a definite miscommunication somewhere because the number 2 for South, he was just sort of standing there. I don't know who he was covering.
And it's going to be a timeout on the field. We'll keep it right here. What a backbreaker for North, being on the cusp of making this a one-possession ball game and giving up the second pick 6.
It could be. Could be. We'll see. Again, when you run that spread offense, we're going to be able to score quickly. But we got to finish those drives. We can't get inside the 20 and not come away with points. And we certainly can't give up points on offense.
26-7 is your score. We'll see if South goes for 2 again. I assume that they will.
The kicking situation for South, it's got to worry the coaching staff there. South is a state playoff team, and when you're playing close games, you're going to need these extra points.
So 19.9 seconds here in the second quarter. 26-7 is your score. The 2-point attempt.
Last time they took it off tackle and gave it to Honey.
Horace will keep it. Now he'll let it fly and tipped away in the end zone. Nice dive to knock it away by number 8, Yaw Perry. And so a bit of a silver lining on that. We will take a break. 19.9 to go, second quarter, 26-7. South leads North right here on the Raider Sports Network. How quickly momentum can change. We were just talking about the fact that North on the cusp of a second touchdown in short succession, and then the big 95-yard pick six by Wilson. And it's 26-7 now. And the kick returned out to the 15, 20. There's room out to about the 30.
Yeah, there's a flag that's coming back.
And so time for one, maybe two plays. The block in the back will move it.
With a block in the back, that probably means they're just going to down it and call it a half.
When you're out at the 30, you've got room with which to work. Not so much when you're back inside your 10.
Yeah.
All marked at the 7.
Well, and this is a weird game to watch because there are a lot of positives that you can say about North. We stopped them on 4th down. We defensively, we've looked good at times. Again, offensively, looks like we figured them out. Then we come up with another turnover that turns into points for South. So even with the score being what it is, I still don't feel like North has played a terrible first half.
Hand off to Trigg, taken down right at the line of scrimmage. And that will be the last play of the first half. 26-7, South Forsyth with a lead over North. And we will take a break. When we return, the second half of tonight's matchup between South and North right here on the Raider Sports Network.
Direction of Steve Hendricks and Dixon Pendergrass. In field command of conductors Trevor Lambert, Davis Pitts, and Jesse Duran. The principal of South Forsyth High School is Laura Wilson. The athletic director is Keith Grady. The fine arts administrator is Terry McAllister. The superintendent of the Forsyth County School District is Dr. Jeff Bearden. Tonight, the War Eagle Marching Band will be performing a portion of their 2017 program, The Unheard. Selections to be taken from the following: Fantasia on a Theme by Thomas Callis and Rafe Von Williams, Symphony Number 5, Piano Sonata Number 14, and Symphony Number 9 by Ludwig van Beethoven. Conductors Trevor Lambert, Davis Pitts, and Jesse Duran. Is your ensemble ready? Ladies and gentlemen, the South Forsyth War Eagle Marching Band.
For my brothers Carl and Johann Beethoven. You men tell me of my malevolence. Oh, how greatly do you wrong me. For you do not know the secret cause, the creator of my madness. But greatness I shall find. I am bound to be misunderstood and compelled to isolate myself and live life alone, like one who has been banished. harshly was I flung back by the doubly sad experience of my bad hearing. Speak louder, shout, for I am deaf. Oh, what a humiliation for me when someone standing nearby heard a flute in the distance. Yet I heard nothing. Or someone standing next to me who heard a shepherd singing. And again, I heard nothing.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was the South Forsyth War Eagle Marching Band. Ladies and gentlemen, now entering the field is North Forsyth's own Raider Marching Band. The band is under the field direction of drum majors Haley Allison and Christopher Shoppel. For your halftime entertainment tonight, the award-winning Raider Marching Band will be performing their show tonight, featuring the music of West Side Story. Drum majors, is the band ready? You may take the field in halftime performance.
back here at Raider Valley, Craig Corbin, Jay Glimpf, and the Raider Sports Network team, 26-7 at the break in favor of South. A couple of pick sixes, a huge difference in the ballgame thus far. A look at some of the first half stats, courtesy of our statistician, Mr. Trey Glimpf.
Right now, Bales is 12 out of 17 for 137 yards. He's got 3 interceptions and 1 touchdown. Trigg has 12 carries for about 37 yards. He has a long run of 12 yards. On the other side, Cal Morris has thrown for 105 yards. He's completed 5 out of 15, and he's got a rushing touchdown as well. Honey has 11 rushes for 68 yards and a touchdown. But the big difference has been penalties. And not just the penalty yards, but when they occur and what happens after. North has 2 unsportsmanlike on top of the 8 penalties that they amassed for 80 yards. So that's sort of been the story. But as I said before the end of the first half, the score's 26-7. It doesn't feel like it. It feels like it's been a very evenly played game. So the score is deceptive. And again, North doesn't have to do anything drastic in the third quarter. They've got to score. They've got to get South's offense off the field. They just have to keep responding, keep playing hard, and good things will happen. I think in the first half, again, the moment might have been too big for our North kids. This is the first meaningful football we've played in a really long time. So, the second half, you got nothing to lose. I expect an all-out effort, just like we saw in the first half.
The lone touchdown for North coming at the 3:03 mark of the second quarter. Bales to Howard, the extra point good. And at that point, 20-7. And you had the feeling as they drove after a nice defensive stop that the opportunity to make it a one-possession game at the break really would have shifted things for the second half. Nonetheless, given the fact that they have moved the ball consistently all year long and racked up big yards. I mean, my goodness, last week over 600 yards in total offense. You have to feel, if you are a Raider fan, that they are still very much in this ballgame.
Yeah, it's anybody's game right now. Again, if North can keep scoring, we've seen the defense play lights out at certain possessions. North is certainly capable of making this a much closer ballgame. And we've seen stuff like this before. The Texas A&M and UCLA come to mind as a great example of a game that's not over. It's halftime here. We got Journey on. We're not going to stop believing. I expect North to get the ball and get after it.
So the second half just moments away. This, of course, as we mentioned, for sole possession of first place in the region. Only North and South unbeaten in region play at this point. But, knowing that the playoffs will take 4 from the region, you have to feel good about things. Coming into tonight, Milton and West both at 1-1. Lambert and Central 0-2. Of course, Central, a tough year for the Bulldogs. 0-7 coming into tonight's matchup against Milton.
Yeah, probably going to be 0-8.
Yep. Yeah, Milton is a tough customer.
Well, special teams, a huge kickoff return would be a great catalyst for a drive to get points on the board. We haven't done well in the return game so far tonight.
The Raiders will receive the kick to open the third quarter, and taken at the 2-yard line. Perry to his right across the 10, 15 hit, and taken down at about the 7. He's had a couple of good returns tonight.
With penalties.
With penalties that have negated most of it. But that gets it back out. A return of about 15 yards. And the line of scrimmage. They're going to put it down. They're going to give him all the way to the 20. So a return of 17 yards. First possession of the second half. The Raiders looking to cut into that deficit. They trail South Forsyth 26-7. Bales takes a snap, fakes the handoff, heavy rush, and throws it out there, and it's complete across the 25, out of bounds at the 27, 28-yard line, and on the reception, Tristan Howard.
I'll say it again. That was a great pass. That was about as perfect. That was coming right at us in the press box. That was right over his shoulder. Howard made a great catch, and what a great way to start with a first down. I think they're giving him a first down.
They are moving.
They're moving the sticks. Yeah.
And it is first down. Line of scrimmage just inside the 29-yard line.
Empty backfield. We haven't seen that.
Bales fakes to his left, now dumps it off. And room to run across the 40, 45 to midfield into South territory. And still on his feet, the man with the ball, number 5, Charlie Aiken.
Well, they came out with backfield. South sold out on the blitz.
Here's a look at it on replay, and yards after contact.
I thought there might have been some a hit out of bounds. Great play by Aiken. He's solid. Again, we've got some great receivers. Aiken is that guy that he can take a short pass and take it a long way if he has to. Great call too. Way to start 2 consecutive first downs.
First and 10 from the 33 of South. Bales is going to dump it back, and not sure that the intended receiver was ready for it. And that incompletion will stop the clock with 11:15 to go here, third quarter.
Well, I like the screen calls because they're calling them towards the strength of what South is doing. South's defensive line is selling out. They're going for trig. They've fallen for 2 straight screen attempts. If you want to alleviate pressure on your quarterback, you've got to do one of 2 things. You've got to be able to run the ball, or you've got to be able to complete short passes. And a screen play is a great way to get them to stop blitzing.
An official timeout there. Now we're ready for a resumption of play. Second and 10. Ball at the 33 of South. Snap, hand off, Trigg, he's got some yards inside the 30, down to the 25.
Well, good play by Trigg. He's so fast and he's so strong. He took a quick step to the right, put his shoulder down, knocked the defender down for another 2 or 3 yards. It's a good play by Trigg. Good blocking up front too.
And a huge penalty on the War Eagles, personal foul, and that's going to give a first down for the Raiders. They'll step it off from the 26-yard line.
Please still make your last-minute donation to a great cause.
And all the way down. Line of scrimmage. 13.
All right, we've been here before.
First and 10 from the 13.
We've been here before. Oh, great block.
Around the end, room to run, and taken down at the 7-yard line on the carry, Y'all Perry.
Looks like an injured player.
Timeout for injury.
And
I think it is Perry.
Clock has stopped. Perry is down and being attended to. 10:50 to go here in the third quarter, 26-7. Jay, you look at the way the Raiders have really come out of the locker room full of energy and a huge first possession. They do need, though, to convert and get to 7 on this possession.
They do, and I tell you what, I love the offensive play calling. You line up with an empty set, meaning there's no tailback in the backfield with Bales. We didn't see that all last week. We hadn't seen it tonight. You come out with a couple of screen plays to sort of offset that rush that they've been hurting us with, and then you see jet. Where Yao goes in motion and gets the ball. We haven't seen that. They didn't run that at all last week. So all of a sudden you're in the second half. You're not running trick plays. You're not running anything super fancy, but you're running stuff that South hasn't seen on film. They certainly didn't adjust to it. And on that jet play with Perry, Trigg had a great block there to seal it so that Perry could get outside.
being tended to now. He's sitting up.
Walker Therapy Services, comprehensive center quality services.
See, I think they're about to get him to his feet. And he is back on his feet. Gingerly coming this way and favoring that left leg.
Yeah, he had been hurt, and I know Coach Pratt was thrilled to get him back. So we hate to see him injured again. We're not that deep at tailback right now. With him out and freshman Heath Slayton out as well, it puts a lot more pressure on Bryson Trigg to go the distance. And right here, we don't have to score 6. It's still, because we got the ball down the field so fast, we can get 3 and you're down 16. That's still 2 scores.
The line of scrimmage, the 6, and that will leave 2nd and a long 3 or a short 4. Raiders have been huddled up with Coach Kraft and company on the sideline. They're zipping back out there. Joining them, number 33, Chase Johnson.
After the 2nd down 4.
2nd and a short 4. 10:38 to play in the 3rd. Right up the middle. Minimal yardage, maybe a gain of 1.
Yeah, that closed up quick. Offensive line needs to come up huge on this drive. We got to push them forward.
Big 3rd down opportunity here, Jay. A gain of 1 will leave 3rd and a short 3.
3rd down 3.
Again, I don't think it's a 2-down territory thing, but yeah, we'd much rather have 6 than 3.
Get the points any way you can. Now under center. Bales will hand it off. Trigg is hit. Maybe a gain of a yard. Let's see where they mark it. And it will bring up 4th. And it looks like they're going for the field goal.
Yeah, looks like they put Boise on the field. I think it's a good call.
Yep.
Certainly you got to make the kick, but I think it's a good call. It's so early in the game. You make this, again, you're down 16. That's 2 scores. 2 possessions.
Arthur Boiseau. Snap, spot, kick, up, and it is good. So with 9:11 to go, 3rd quarter, it's 26-10. The Raiders of North are within 16. We'll take a break and be back in a moment right here on the Raiders Sports Network.
Good drive. Good drive, good play calls.
So Arthur Boiseau, the 23-yard field goal, pulls the Raiders within 26-10. 9:11 to go here in the 3rd quarter. South will receive the kick for their first possession of the 2nd half. Kick is going to come down at about the 4-yard line.
Good coverage. Great coverage.
And the Raiders swarm all over Sims. Or check that. It was Jalen Pearson on the return.
Again, just like in the first half, Boise had a great kick. The cover team was there. We hit them inside the 15-yard line is what it looked like.
And when you
they
can
were down there
consistently
quick.
do that, that is huge.
Yeah, you know what? Boise gives them great coverage kicks, meaning he gives them a good 3 to 4 second hang time every time his foot hits the ball.
Line of scrimmage just inside the 18-yard line. 1st and 10 War Eagles. First possession of the second half. And room to run on the near side. Jared Honey across the 30, across the 35 and out of bounds. He'll mark it at the 36-yard line. Big first down effort by number 28, Jared Honey.
Well, that's not the way you want to start. We did a great job in the first half of slowing him down. Not really impressive numbers, but that was a nice play there.
Once he got the corner, he was off to the races.
And that's probably a big hint as to what South wants to do for the rest of the game. They don't want him going out of bounds. They want the clock running, and they want to get out of here.
So the new line of scrimmage with 36. South, 1st and 10. Norris, the handoff again. And they're going to be content to work it on the ground, use the clock.
Yeah, well, and South is very good at doing both the intermediate passing and a powerful running game. You got a quarterback that can pull it and take it himself. You got a running back that, again, Honey is a very large individual to take down.
Yep.
It's a stout 1-2 punch that they've got. That's who we're going to see for the rest of the game, I think.
Yeah, Jared goes 220. Takes it around the right side and into North Forsyth territory at the 49-yard line of North, and another first down run for Jared Honey.
Looks like a flag's on the play.
And a face mask on South.
I think that was on Honey when he did the stiff arm,
right?
The stiff arm block. But again, it's going to take a couple kids to knock him down. Honey broke that tackle and got the first down on the run, but with the face mask penalty, that's going to back them up. That's a huge break for North.
All the way back inside the 30, inside the 25. They're going to mark it at the 27. So the line to gain is the 46-yard line.
It is now 2nd down, 21 yards to go.
And again, at this point, North just needs to get the ball back. No big plays, no blown coverages, no personal fouls or anything like that. North has done well at times on defense. More times than not, they've been outstanding.
2nd and 19. And the flag flies to the air long, and it is complete. And going all the way in for the score, number 9, Brian Petrelli.
Having a day.
Goodness gracious. 73-yarder, but a flag. And a penalty gets South on the gate. The 73-yard touchdown strike to Petrelli. Wow.
Well, I don't want to say we've been lucky, but Honey has a personal foul and a face mask when he got the first down running. Morris just completed a beautiful throw to Petrelli on that play for a 70-plus yard play, and they went backwards again. Again, as I said, we can't afford to do that. If we have any shot at winning this thing, we can't trade points. We got to stop them, and we got to score.
So the line of scrimmage now the 22. And the yard to gain, the 46. 2nd and 24. Wideouts to either side. A rush. He's flushed out, throws under pressure over the middle, and it is short of the intended target.
Great pressure again. We're going to call his name all night, I think. Evan Johnson.
Yep.
He had a couple sacks in the first half, and he was in Morris's face right there on that play. Just relentless pursuit. That's what you need. They need to know that we're going to bring pressure every time. They'll have to adjust their blocking to account for Johnson.
So 3rd and 24. You got 3rd and a quarter of the field. That's a little bit tough. Great opportunity for North, and they would get the ball back in decent field position. Third 24, 3 men wide to the far side. Morris lets it fly and incomplete. Collisioned out of the 40-yard line, and the intended receiver still down. Well, it was complete, beg your pardon.
Heck of a catch. He caught that in coverage and took a shot.
But not enough for the first down.
No, not near enough. Not near enough. And what a break, because now the clock stops again.
7:35 to go in the third.
North has only lost about 2 minutes on this drive. If South gets,
which is amazing.
Yeah, when South has the ball and they punt it on this fourth down, which they're about 100% chance that that's what they're going to do. North should get the ball back with a good solid 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. And again, see if they can take the ball down the field, have a big play, sustain a drive, that sort of thing. Wear out that South Forsyth defense for the fourth quarter. South played Milton last week, only ended up winning 21-13. That's a 4-quarter game.
A slugfest.
Yeah, that's not a game where you've got your starters out at the end of the third quarter and you got your JV in there padding their stats. If we can just get back into it, there's always that chance. This game is not out of reach.
Players still being attended to out at near the 40-yard line. Clock at 7:35 to go here in the third. And now a round of applause for Ryan Pentrelli, who was able to secure the catch and now walking off under his own power.
Boy, that's a tough break for South if they lose him. He's got just under 200 yards receiving for the year, and he's been their big play receiver all year too.
And so with fourth down, they will punt it away.
Carter Mulligan's a threat to score too. Oh.
And this is going to give the Raiders a golden opportunity, although it takes a War Eagle bounce inside the 30, down at the 26-yard line.
Well, the defense did what they had to do. It's the offense's turn. Yeah, the defense, goodness, they gave up a long pass play. There was a penalty. They gave up a play to Honey, and then there was a penalty. And now it's the offense's turn to get back out there and move the ball. They've had several successive drives now where they've been able to find a rhythm, to complete a pass, to have a 4 or 5 yard run. It's time to do it again. This is crunch time right here. This is big stuff.
And you're still not halfway through the third quarter.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
7:15 to go in the third, 26-10. South leading North. Bales under pressure, now rolls out, lets it fly, and it is through the hands of Howard at the 40-yard line. That would have been a big first down conversion.
Looked like it was knocked down by South Forsyth number 6, Jalen Pearson. Or check that might be number 5, Richard Jordan.
So 2nd and 10.
That play was there. Boy, he was open.
Yep.
He was open for a second.
Bales now checking to the sideline. And the handoff. Trigg out to about the 30. Gain of 4 on the play, and that will leave 3rd and about 6.
Well, it's a big third down. Here we go with an empty backfield. That's just the second time we've lined up like this tonight.
Clock rolls, 6:40 and counting in the third. Man in motion to the near side. Here's Touchstone. Bales lets it fly. Touchstone has it. Out across the 35. That's good for a first down. Gang tackled by a host of War Eagles. And that will move the chains.
Well, that was a tremendous effort by Touchstone. He got hit before he got the first down and just sort of willed himself through 3 people to get that.
He's been the leading receiver this season.
Again, it's a luxury when you've got big play receivers, a big play tailback, and oh, by the way, Ben Bales at quarterback.
Yep. More than 300 yards a game on the season. Bales, and that one hit. And a flag flies in. Bales really hit the ground hard. Gets to his feet, holding his left wrist.
South has 2 guys on the defensive line that have 7 and 5 sacks each. They're good at getting pressure on the quarterback. They've been getting pressure on Bales all night. The key has been they've wanted to get to him as the lead is extended for him. They've been going after him a couple of times.
So that penalty will move it all the way into South Forsyth territory, down to the 46-yard line. 1st and 10 for North. 6:07 to go in the third.
It's a big penalty.
Huge.
Touchdown,
1st and 10. Bales will hand it off. Trigg hit in the backfield. Second effort, though, and the loss of 2 on the play. Great effort to get that far.
Yeah, great effort indeed. He got met as soon as he took the handoff. That right side of the North Forsyth offensive line, they're going to have to do a better job.
2nd and 12 now for North. Clock rolls, 5:35 to play in the third. Bales takes it, quick hit, and it is complete. Touchdown is taken down right at about the original line of scrimmage. They'll put it back to the 46, and that'll be 3rd and 10 now for North.
Well, you know what? Last week, that play is going to go for 20 because Touchstone is going to break the tackle. This week against South, or Aiken, I'm sorry, this week against South, you know, they tackle well. They're a much better tackling team than Lambert. That play didn't go anywhere.
3rd and 10 as we move inside 5 minutes to go, third quarter. Bales looks to the sideline. Wide outs to either side.
Here they come.
Snap. Heavy pressure, and he is hit as he throws. And the man that got there for South, Ryan LaFlamme, and he's now in double digits with hurries, as well as better than 10 sacks on the season.
And they could have called holding on the north line as well. He was definitely getting help.
So the Raiders will have to kick it away. 4:40 to play. And a fake.
There you go, fake punt, get upfield.
Inside the 40. First down for the Raiders. What a huge play. Nicky Dalmolin.
Well, special teams can be the difference when you're trying to get back in the game. That was a great call. Little punt Ruski. Dalmolin took it for the first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 35 of South. North keeps possession. 1st and 10, 4:24 to go in the third. Raiders trail by 16. Looking long down the middle, has a man there, overthrows the intended receiver, and that's Charlie Aiken.
I tell you, South has done an excellent job tonight. They've left their corners on an island, and you're one-on-one with guys that have 400, 500, 600 yards receiving all year and a lot of touchdowns. You're putting a lot of faith in those guys to shut our receivers down, and they've done a good job tonight. Obviously, with the score being 26-10, they've stopped us plenty.
2nd and 10. Bales will hand it off. And a little there for Bryson Trigg.
Yeah, you know what? It may be time to start pushing the boundary and trying to run outside those defensive ends. It may be time to go towards the sideline more instead of trying to go up the middle.
Toss sweep.
There's just not much there. Well, anything that will spread out the alignments that the defense has. Right now, with Bales not being a threat to run, they can key.
Gain of 1, will leave 3rd and 9. Bales rolling out to his right, lets it fly, and it is caught. And it is right at the yard to gain.
Great catch. Great catch, great throw. Boy, Bales got out of pressure, rolled out, threw that one up. That was perfect.
4th.
Well played.
And less than a yard. 4th and less than a yard.
Right, big decision here.
3:33 to go in the 3rd. 26-10 South. North looking to convert on 4th and less than a yard. Bales looks to the sideline. Now he'll move Trigg, and they're going to have to burn a timeout.
Well, Boise missed from 47. This one would be, I think, like 42, which, again, that's well within his range. You'd like to come away with a touchdown, though. You're at that point right now where 3:30 left in the 3rd quarter, 4th and 1, you might go for it. But with the little success that you've had running the football so far in the second half, that's the only thing that I'm hesitant about. I know I've got a kicker that can do it. I've got confidence in him.
Conversely, do you go for broke and go for the end zone
and hope for either a touchdown or a pass interference? We see it a lot at the higher levels, like the NFL. But gosh, it's a tough call. I'm a special teamer and I'm a possession person. I say kick the field goal and get your defense back on the field, and see what happens. We're bound to score, but it's a big game. It's South Forsyth. Have confidence in your offensive line too. Send them out there. Let's get a yard.
Aiken and Howard wide to the far side. Delmullen and Touchstone to the near side. 4th and 1. 3:29 to go in the 3rd. The snap, Bales to throw, ball is tipped and knocked away, and South will take over on downs.
Huge play. Gosh, that was a huge play. And I tell you what, South was in the backfield. They're coming with everything they had, and you got to tip your hat to them. They beat you on that play. And again, the struggle with the running game. It's 4th and 1. We should be able to line up and do a little smash mouth football and get that yard. Instead, we went for a short pass play.
3:25 to go, timeout on the field. We will take a break as well. When we return, more between North and South right here on the Raider Sports Network.
K&K Towing and Recovery, American Proteins Incorporated, Ryan Properties.
No points. Yeah. So we've had the ball 6 minutes. We've had the ball 6 minutes and have no points. We got nothing to show for it.
Healthcare of Atlanta, Pizzeria, Missouri, Water Removal Services, Sam's Backstage, Chef Herman's,
The decisive plays thus far in this ball.
Country Folks Superstore.
Easy decision as it was to run that fake punt when it was 4th and 1.
Yeah.
There's a timeout. Do we run it? Do we kick it?
And another score of injuries in the 4th quarter. Milton 10.
Oh yeah.
Central 0.
And
teams are back on the field. And the War Eagles have possession. 3:25 here in the 3rd. And a big run on 1st down, rumbling out across the 40. And Jared Honey with yet another big play for the War Eagles.
Yeah, look, Jared Honey is a big kid. He's had a great year, and he is tough to tackle. And as we get closer to the 4th quarter, again, that's probably what they need to be running to take as much time off the clock as possible.
Line of scrimmage, the 41-yard line. Honey gets it around the near side, 45, and out to the 48-yard line. And 7 on the play. That'll bring up 2nd and 3.
And our statistician said North had possession for another 3 minutes and 30 seconds on that last drive. So they had the ball a full 6 minutes so far in this quarter, maybe more. And we haven't come away with anything, just a field goal.
Second and short for South. Final 2.5 minutes of the third quarter. They lead by 16. Handoff. A big first down conversion for number 8, Jordan Brunson. It's into North territory down to the 40-yard line. Marking at the 39.
Again, all this is just off-tackle stuff out of the shotgun, and they're coming right at us. Nothing fancy. They're just going to work the clock.
Working the clock, keeping it on the ground, using that big offensive line. Hand off again. Brunson hit behind. Beg your pardon. That's number 8. It is Brunson. Hit behind the line of scrimmage. Loss of 1 on the play.
That was Faulkner, I think, on the tackle. Great play. Again, there's no quitting these North kids. They're still going to play hard. We need a turnover. We need somebody to be that leader out there and create a turnover. Get the ball back.
And honestly, I'm not sure that you can afford to allow any more points.
No, we can't.
Second and 12. Jared Honey inside the 40 down to the 36-yard line. And that will leave them with third and about, let's call it 7. A big third down play here.
Well, and you wonder if South does 2 downs on this. Since it's third down, do they run 2 plays?
Hand off to Jared Honey right up the middle, and he's got daylight. He'll take it all the way to the house. A 36-yard touchdown run for Jared Honey.
Well, South on the off tackle, straight up the middle. I don't think anybody touched him. He's big, he's fast. That was great blocking. That's what South's done all year long. He's over 100 yards now. It's his second touchdown of the night.
And coming at the 56.5-second mark of the third quarter. 32-10. South Forsyth. They will again go for a 2-point conversion, looking before they can snap the ball. And penalty against the War Eagles, delay a game.
Looks like they're going to kick it now. Makes it a 25-yard extra point.
What is this, the NFL? And the kick is up, and it is good. Give credit to Alex Hardy on the extra point. 33-10 with 56.5 seconds to go in the third. We'll take a break and be back with more. This is the Raiders Sports Network.
Emergency towing services.
A 36-yard touchdown scamper by Jared Honey. The extra point by Hardy makes it 33-10. Inside a minute to play. Third quarter. Raiders in need of points quickly. And that will sail into the end zone. Touchback, the 5th of the season for Hardy. So the Raiders will set up shop at the 20. Still not out of reach, but you really have to have things go your way down the stretch.
Well, now you're under the pressure. You got to be perfect. You're going to have to score every time you get the ball, and you can't let South score. So, nothing changes. You can still, we have plenty of plays in the arsenal to call.
1st and 10 Raiders. They trail by 23. The handoff to Trigg. Bounces to the outside, but taken down. Might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, and that's sort of been the story of the night. Our players that make the big plays, even when we've made a big catch downfield, we've almost been tackled immediately. And they've bottled Tyson or Trigg up the whole game. He's had very, very little success right now.
Clock rolls. Inside 30 seconds to play, 3rd quarter. Man in motion to the far side. Bales takes it, looks to the near side, and into and out of the hands of Dalmolin. And that stops the clock with 14.4. 3rd and 10 now for North. Three men to the near side. Bales under heavy pressure. He's going to be taken down at the 12-yard line, and there on the sack, 70, Hunt.
Well, South has been putting pressure on him all night. This is about the 3rd or 4th time that they've brought him down. Again, it's 3rd and long. We're going to throw. That's when they start sending all the different blitz packages that they can, and they've had a lot of success getting to him tonight.
3 quarters in the book. We'll take a break when we return. The 4th quarter between North and South. It's 33-10 War Eagles. This is the Raider Sports Network.
Having to look through everything.
Fourth quarter set to get underway, and it will start with a North Forsyth punt. And this one will hit at the 40, take a War Eagle bounce to the 38-yard line. And so the War Eagles with a short field as they take over first possession of the 4th quarter, leading by 23. A ball game, Jay, that has been a showcase for big plays, a lot of penalties.
Yeah.
But you take away, and of course you can't take away the pick sixes, but boy, you take away those two.
It's a totally different game, isn't it?
It's an entirely different ball game.
Yeah. And at this point, South is going to be able to do what they want to do, and that's run the football.
Bouncing outside after initial contact and taken down at about the 33. Jordan Brunson.
You get the feeling that big South offensive line is going to start to impose their will. It certainly was the case on the last drive that they scored on.
Taking a toll. Just think about blocking somebody an average weight of about 265, 270 across that front.
For 4 quarters.
Yep. Nice work. 2nd and 6. Handoff. And Brunson again, right up the middle, down to about, might have gotten to the 30.
Late flag. There's a late flag there.
That might be against South. Let's see.
South's put their backup quarterback in as well. Drew Morris, I think is who it is. 14.
North player being attended to. Clock stopped at 11:17 to go here in the fourth. And it is a dead ball personal foul against the War Eagles. And a nice round of applause there for Chevy Chavaria. It's always good when you can see them getting off the field under their own power.
Yeah, and he's played well tonight. The whole defensive line, again, in spurts, they've done some really good things. We could make a really good highlight film tonight of all the of the great plays that North has had. But again, when you spot South with points off from our offense, you know it's an uphill battle for the rest of the night.
So instead of 3rd and 2, we'll make it 3rd and 17, War Eagles. And heavy pressure on Drew Morris. He rolls out, has a man open inside the 25, 20, down to the 15. That one complete to number 1, Caleb Outlaw. And on 3rd and 17, the War Eagles convert.
That was the 5th pass attempt for Morris. He looked good doing it too, didn't he?
Not a lot of drop off.
No, South has a lot of talent. They've got a lot of depth.
From Cal to Drew.
Yeah.
This time the handoff, Brunson taken down to the backfield. Nice tackle.
Robert Faulkner. Yep. He's been in the backfield a lot tonight and has played well. I know this is a disappointing game, and judging by the way things are, it may end up being a disappointing game. But you can't say enough good things about just how hard North Forsyth has played tonight. Yep. South is good. They have a history of being good, and you know our kids have stood toe-to-toe with them at times tonight. And at times we've looked like we were the better team. Again, turnovers is the story.
Pitcher on the right side, Brunson weaves his way inside the 15. By the way, Faulkner, you made mention of, came into tonight with 29 solo tackles, 42 on the season. As we move inside 10 minutes here to go in the ball game.
He's punted well too. He's averaged about 40 yards a punt all year.
And 9 yards to go.
This would be a huge 3rd down here for them to not score. And what I mean is by not getting a field goal either. They struggled with kicking all night. And they're certainly in field goal range where they should be for a team that's as good as they are. If we could get them to come away with no points.
3rd and 9, empty backfield. Drew
Anything's
Morris,
possible.
Heavy rush, lets it fly. Touchdown pass, caught. And you know who it is. 28, Jared Honey.
Oh, great play by the backup quarterback. Drew Morris?
Drew Morris.
He looked pretty comfortable back there. I think that's his, 6th completion of the year. And he looked good doing it. And he took a hit from Evan Johnson to complete that pass. You're right, there was no drop-off on that.
The attempt for the extra point to make it a 30-point ball game. This extra point is good. With 9:28 to play, it is a 30-point ball game, 40-10 South. We'll be back in a moment. This is the Raiders Sports Network. Back here in Raider Valley, Craig Corbin with Jay Glimpf, the Raider Sports Network crew. And now a 30-point ball game at 40-10. 9:28 to go in this contest. Just got a final from elsewhere in the region. And Milton blanking Central 17-0. Had a partial score a bit earlier. Lambert up on West. A little bit of a surprise there.
Yeah, a little bit. Lambert does have talent. They've got a great running back. But yeah, if Lambert could beat West, that would certainly help out our cause tonight. And set up what should be a great matchup between us and West, and of course us and Milton.
Two big ball games to end the regular season for Coach Kraft and company. So still in there, Ben Bales at the quarterback, takes the snap, 3-step drop, lets it fly near side and intercepted. And it's going to be another pick six. This one taken by Caleb Outlaw. A 30-yard pick six at the 9:18 mark.
Wow. He played that perfect, pedaled, read Bales, and stepped right in front of the receiver to take it into the end zone untouched. That was just a great play. South has been impressive everywhere, but the secondary has really stepped up for them tonight. North has struggled in all phases of offense tonight. Turnovers have been the key, but again, you have to tip your hat to South. They've been fantastic and steady.
There's a flag down against the point. The legal substitution is the penalty against North Forsyth.
So the extra point still in the offing. Alex Hardy awaiting the opportunity to kick his second extra point of the night.
Looks like it was a legal participation.
The penalty for substitution infraction.
Substitution infraction.
And the point after try is up, and it is good.
And the extra point is good. With 9:18 to go in the ball game, we'll take a break. It is South by a bunch. Back in a moment. This is the Raider Sports Network. Back we are here in Raider Valley, 9:18 to go in the ball game, and the War Eagle defense has been the decisive difference in this contest. Count them three pick sixes for the War Eagle secondary, and they have really made life difficult on quarterback Ben Bales and the Raider offense.
They have, and with the score so out of hand and with 9 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, looks like we still have the bulk of our starters in. This may be their last drive, though.
I think that might be the smart thing to do. The pass is complete out to about the 29-yard line, and there with the reception, Caleb Touchstone. Well, we've seen more flags tonight than I can remember in a long time.
Yeah, both teams have been a little penalty happy tonight. it cost us early, certainly from a momentum standpoint. But the story tonight, again, you got 4 turnovers, and South has scored 3 touchdowns off of these 4 turnovers.
And that flag is waved off.
Flag will be waved off.
Play gain 9 yards. It's second down and a yard.
Clock rolls toward 9 minutes to go. Bales looking over the middle, lets it fly, and just over the fingertips. That would have been a huge gainer.
In coverage was number 20, Colby Cruz.
Dowling had a step on the defender that time.
He did. One of the few times tonight that our receivers have been able to beat them one-on-one for a deep throw, and just off the fingertips. That's kind of been the story tonight.
Third down play and hit behind the line of scrimmage, taken down at about the 27. And that will keep the clock rolling. Call it 4th down and 3. And the Raiders are going to ostensibly go for it here. Snap and completes, and the first down conversion out to the 36-yard line.
Well, good call, and it was a short route, just like we saw a lot last week against Lambert. A big 3rd down or 4th down for anything, just pride at this point. Get a drive going. Let's get downfield and score. Again, these guys probably know this may be their last drive. They need to do something.
Inside 8 minutes to go in the ball game. Bales over the middle and broken up at midfield. Raiders trailing by 38.
Well, and again, South looks like they've subbed some of their starters out. But, again, there's no drop-off in talent there. This essentially turns into a practice at this point.
The War Eagle football program, as we see the first down run, gain of a couple, and on the carry that time, number 46, Jonathan Perez. 175 young men participating in football at South this season.
Wow.
That's a lot of guys.
Those are huge numbers. You're right, those are huge numbers.
Third and 9. Bales lets it fly, and it is incomplete. Tristan Howard, the intended receiver. Clock stopped. 7:27 to go here in the ball game.
Another big 4th down.
And a flag. And that will make it a bit more of a challenge instead of 4th and 9. We'll take a stroll back enough to make it 4th and 14.
Is 5 yards. It'll be 4th and 14.
Clock again rolls. 7:20 and counting. Flushed out, Bowles. And complete to the 41, but shy of the yard to gain, and the Raiders will turn it over on downs. 7:10 to play. Coming into this ball game, a lot of excitement on the Raiders sideline. It has been a while, 6 years since the last Raider victory over South. This is the 20th renewal of the Civil War, if you will.
Well, this certainly hurts because, as I said, the kids all week were pretty excited about this one. But now you've got experience of playing in a big game, and now you can remember what the score was and how it felt and that sort of thing. And it's one thing to be excited; it's a whole other thing to be homed in and ready to play.
Now in Benjamin Whitlock at quarterback for the War Eagles. We'll hand it off over the right side. And a bit of a rugby scrum there. And a gain of maybe a yard.
Well, this is a good time for North to clear the bench a little bit. Get some guys some experience that haven't had a lot of playing time this year. And, it can do nothing but good things for future seasons. And whenever there's that injury and you need the next man up, it's always good that person's got a few snaps under their belt.
Clock stopped, 6:51 for an injury timeout. We'll take this opportunity to again thank the team on the Raiders Sports Network tonight for the yeoman's effort. We thank the folks that have made it possible. Your executive producer, Mr. James Seawright. Your director, fine job indeed, Mr. Ben Barron. Close-up cam, Shelby Croy. The wide cam, Zachary Brochia. And the camera operators tonight, Brendan Eason, Guillermo Talon, and Kent Clark Rice. And thanks to our statistician this evening, Trey Glimpf. Greatly appreciate that. That is a thankless job, and I'm not sure that anybody appreciates how much work goes into being a statistician.
Absolutely, and look, he's a football guy. As a little kid, I used to take him to Clemson games with me, and he lives for this stuff. So it's thankless, it's tough, but he's loving it because he's coming back to us and he's saying, "Hey, that drive took 3 minutes 37 seconds." Yeah, he's doing that. It's a credit to public school because he's doing all that math so fast.
Great job, Trey. We appreciate it, man. So the gain of 1 leaves 2nd and 9, and the handoff again on the right side, and a gain of a couple. That was Jalen Leak. And the clock continues to roll, 6:27 and counting. You look at what North has left the rest of the way, and you made mention earlier, you got West and you got Milton and 2 toughies.
Oh yeah, they'll both be tough. Certainly Milton took South down to the wire, so that's going to be a big one too. But again, every time we win, we're going to move up the playoff seed. So it's we can be upset about tonight, or the kids can bounce back from it, learn from it, and come back and beat West. And we haven't beat West, it feels like, in a long time either. So there's always a seasons of firsts when it's been a while since you've done anything really special. I don't think we've won a playoff game since 2006, 2008, somewhere in there. So I mean, it would be great to not just get to the playoffs, but get to that second round.
Yep.
That's when you're sort of making that step in the right direction.
That you've arrived, you bet. 4th, and we'll call it 5. Hand off again, Leak. Hit behind the line of scrimmage and just does get back to the line of scrimmage. And so North will take back over. And with 5:08, Raiders offense back on the field. And this is the 2nd season for Coach Kraft and company. And of course, be remiss if we didn't talk a little bit about the guys that are on both sidelines. Of course, head coach Robert Kraft, the Raiders. His assistant head coach and offensive line coach, Cecil Flo. Well, that's a familiar name. Yeah,
it's awesome that you've got a Hall of Fame coach on your staff. Normally when you have a Hall of Famer, it's usually the head coach. He's the assistant. He won a bunch of state championships at Parkview High School. And is an outstanding coach. He's an outstanding leader, and I know Coach Kraft leans on him a lot.
What an impact he has made on that offensive line for the Raiders. Of course, Matt Park, you got Brian Dameron, the defensive coordinator, Matt Park, the offensive coordinator and wide receiver coach, Patrick Flo, the specials teams coordinator and inside backers coach, Blake Palmer, tight ends coach, Jason Bryant coaches the outside backers, Jeffrey Woods, the defensive line, Jackson Smith, the offensive backs, and the athletic trainer, a man who has a lot to do with the success of the team, Mr. Derek Bass. 3rd and 10. The pass is complete to the 40 to Howard. And on the War Eagles side of things, Coach Jeff Arnett surpassed the 100 career win mark against, I guess it was South Gwinnett earlier this season. He's assisted by Troy Morris, the offensive coordinator and assistant head coach, Trevor Williams, the defensive coordinator, Heath Hover, wide receivers coach, Chip Martin, in charge of the linebackers, Jake Barton, the offensive line coach, Chris Aycock coaching the running backs, Joe Outlaw Jr., defensive backs. Pass incomplete, and so again, change over on downs with 4:20 to go. Ross Walker, the special teams coach and defensive line. Jeff Abraham, who coaches the assistant, the defensive backs. Nick Ballou, quarterbacks coach. Alex Hall, the defensive line. Avery White, the offensive line. And Luke Wagner, who coaches the tight ends. 4:20 to go here tonight in Raider Valley. A gorgeous fall evening. Battle for the top spot in Region 5-7A. It's going to be the War Eagles to remain unbeaten in region play. Top 5 statewide as evidenced by the poll, the Writers' poll. First down run by Leak gets it about the 40. Clock continues to roll, and now just an academic exercise. The scoreboard has been corrected to match my scorebook, so now I feel a lot better. It ain't 48-10, it's 47-10. And I was really trying to figure out where that extra point came from, because they quit going for 2 a long time ago.
They did. They finally started making their kicks.
Yeah, so my scorecard was correct. Thank you very much. 47-10.
That's a lot closer, too.
Yeah, it feels so much better.
Yeah.
37?
Yeah.
Hey.
It's anybody's game.
Oh. 3:35 to go. Hand off, and this is number 34, James Porter, on the carry. Regardless of the outcome tonight, you were playing a top 5 team in the state at the highest level in the state.
Right.
And yes, you came up short, but there were a few silver linings to this ballgame. A couple of possessions. The first possession of the second half, where the Raiders marked it downfield, that really showed what they're capable of.
Absolutely, and you know, again, you can how you respond to a loss is going to tell the tale of how the season ends. You know, I used to work for Tommy Bowden at Clemson, and he would always tell us after we'd lose, he said, look, you can't let people beat you twice. You got to bounce back. You got to learn from it. You got to get better. And we've got a couple opportunities left to still have what's been a very special and exciting season. We knew South was going to be good. South's been everything that we thought they would be. But, you know, it's going to be interesting to see, you know, again, playing in the first big game. Is there going to be a letdown, or are they going to be hungry to get back out there and get after somebody else?
Well, knowing that you still control your own destiny, that's a great thing for anybody. And knowing that you got the opportunity still to earn home field in the playoffs.
Sure. And again, I feel like offensively they're good enough. I don't care where they play. when Bales is on and the receivers are open, you know, North is every bit as impressive as just about anybody else in the state. But tonight, when you look at, you know, what was the storyline? It's going to be the turnovers and the points. South is good. We don't have to spot them 21 points. That, you know, they're going to get that on their own.
2:09 to go in the ball game, and some gentlemen on the field that are getting minutes that they normally don't get. It's always great to see that. You made mention of it earlier.
Right.
You know, they practice and practice and practice some more Running the show now, Noah Gilbert at the quarterback spot for the Raiders.
Well, again, there's a huge difference between playing Friday night under the lights and Thursday under the sunshine for the JV games. So it's always good for these kids to get out here and get some playing experience, regardless of what the score is.
Clock continues to roll. Handoff right up the middle and some room to go out to midfield. A nice carry on that. Number 46, Jonathan Perez. A couple of nice carries for Perez here in the fourth quarter.
Perez had a big 100-yard plus game earlier in the year and has been a little quiet since. Trigg has sort of took over and dominated. But, yeah, Perez is definitely capable. He's a good back.
Clock rolls. First down. Gilbert will tuck it in, and a good effort inside the 45. Gain of about 5 on the play. Clock rolls as we close in on a minute to go. Gorgeous fall evening here in Coal Mountain. Did not wind up the way the Raider faithful had hoped, but nonetheless, you came into the ball game one of the 2 unbeaten teams in region play and still hold the upper hand with regard to postseason action when all is said and done.
Well, and you know, you see now how South played us defensively. That's going to be what other people are going to try and do as well. So now you know what to practice for. You know, it's one thing when you get 600 yards against a 2-6 team. It's another thing when you're limited to the number 5 team in the state. You know, Bales doesn't. I don't think Bales got 200 yards passing tonight. Which, you know, who would have thought that?
Incompletion stops the clock with 15.4. North will fall to 5-3 overall, 2-1 in region play. South improves to 7-1, and the lone unbeaten in Region 5-7A at 3-0. And coming up, what we anticipate probably is your last play of the ball game, should the Raiders elect to keep it on the ground. And the snap, and no, we're going to the air. And letting her fly and taken out of bounds at the 45-yard line. Stops the clock with 8.2. And a turnover on downs. And the victory formation in the offing for the War Eagles under Coach Jeff Arnett as they improve to 7-1. The lone loss by forfeit. And I know that South was celebrating the fact that last week was the first time in the program's history they'd gone to 7-0 and then had to self-report an academic ineligibility.
Just kidding, right? Yeah.
In the Pinecrest game, and just as quickly as that 7-0 came, it went away and became 6-1. But tonight's win makes them 7-1. They are a good ball team and will have the ability to go far in the postseason. The knee is taken, and the clock has expired. And that is your final 47-10. South wins the 20th meeting between North and South here in Raider Valley. Jay, your final thoughts on tonight's ball game?
You know what? I'm going to leave it with some optimism. I'm an 80s kid. I believe in that Reagan optimism. North did some good things, and you can tell that North is well coached. They're well prepared. This was just one of those big games. Like I keep saying, when you're not used to playing in big games, you're going to make mistakes that you didn't make before. And on the other side, again, you got a top 5 team in South Forsyth, and they looked the part. They were good on offense. They were good on defense. And as I said, they were steady. They didn't make huge mistakes. They didn't have any turnovers. The worst mistakes that they made were in the kicking game with their extra points, but then they started making those. South probably goes pretty far in the playoffs. I mean, they're a good team. But, you know, if you get another shot at a big game, how are we going to be able to take care of the football? Are we going to do the same things that hurt us tonight? This is the kind of loss that you have to learn from if you're going to get better and do more than just the first round of the playoffs.
And just tee it up again next Friday night and get back to what you were doing coming into tonight's ball game. Final score again, 47-10, South over North. It has been an opportunity to see 2 great rivals here in Forsyth County go at it tooth and nail. The defense of the War Eagles holding sway against the Raiders tonight. On behalf of Jay, and all the members of this Raider Sports Network team, I'm Craig Corbin saying so long, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Hey, man, you're a pro. That was awesome. Enjoyed it. That was awesome. I appreciate it.